Let's practice IELTS vocabulary together.
Flop,
Flop,
dear,
dear,
clanning,
clandestine,
benevolent,
benevolent,
malign,
malign,
savor,
savor,
impotent,
impotent,
treatise,
treatise,
distraught,
distraught,
opaque,
opaque,
flop, dear, clanning, benevolent, malign, savor, impotent, treatise, distraught, opaque, murky,
murky,
taunt,
taunt,
jeopardize,
jeopardize,
tard,
retard,
ambivalent,
ambivalent,
jolt,
jolt,
alloy,
alloy,
empower,
power,
dementia,
dementia,
tell, murky, taunt,
clan,
jeopardize, tard, ambivalent, jolt, alloy, empower, dementia, tell, bun,
bun,
is,
ceremonia,
kindle,
kindle,
ludicrous,
ludicrous,
deduce,
deduce,
sewage,
sewage,
milestone,
milestone,
surmoured, translucent,
translucent,
incoherent,
incoherent,
bun, is, kindle, ludicrous, deduce, sewage, milestone, surmoured, translucent, incoherent, archbishop,
archbishop,
agitate,
agitate,
taper,
taper,
trajectory,
trajectory,
solicitor,
solicitor,
wobble,
wobble,
claimant,
claimant,
recalcitrant,
recalcitrant,
distaste,
dist,
unyielding,
unyielding,
archbishop, agitate, taper, trajectory, solicitor, wobble, claimant, recalcitrant, distaste, unyielding, dormant,
dormant,
sardonic,
sardonic,
cardiovascular,
cardiovascular,
wine,
wine,
cerebral cortex,
cerebral cortex,
fortif, outstrip,
outstrip,
anecdote,
anecdote,
lucrative,
lucrative,
sulfur,
sulfur,
dormant, sardonic, cardiovascular, wine, cerebral cortex, fortif, outstrip, anecdote, lucrative, sulfur, preoccupation,
preoccupation,
allergy,
allergy,
generic,
generic,
encompass,
compass,
premature,
premature,
blight,
blight,
scrupulous,
scrupulous,
rig,
rig,
beacon,
beacon,
arthritis,
arthritis,
preoccupation, allergy, generic, encompass, premature, blight, scrupulous, rig, beacon, arthritis, caricature,
caricature,
elate,
ethereal,
predicament,
predicament,
antiquity,
antiquity,
communal,
communal,
pertinent,
pertinent,
spawn,
spawn,
beset,
beset,
fixture,
fixture,
pronounced,
pronounced,
caricature, elate, predicament, antiquity, communal, pertinent, spawn, beset, fixture, pronounced, rodent,
rodent,
intricacy,
intricacy,
maneuver,
maneuver,
intolerant,
intolerant,
lurid,
lurid,
periodic,
periodic,
smear,
smear,
hevel, excerpt,
excerpt,
imminent,
imminent,
rodent, intricacy, maneuver, intolerant, lurid, periodic, smear, hevel, excerpt, imminent, indigenous,
indigenous,
misbehavior,
misbehavior,
quarrelsome,
quarrelsome,
prone,
prone,
alight,
alight,
diffuse,
diffuse,
barrage,
barrage,
dismantle,
dismantle,
mandate,
mandate,
elusive,
elusive,
indigenous, misbehavior, quarrelsome, prone, alight, diffuse, barrage, dismantle, mandate, elusive, scour,
scour,
hue,
hue,
aptitude,
aptitude,
precipitation,
precipitation,
diabetes,
diabetes,
mishap,
mishap,
denomination,
denomination,
candid,
candid,
boulder,
boulder,
secretive,
secretive,
scour, hue, aptitude, precipitation, diabetes, mishap, denomination, candid, boulder, secretive, repeal,
repeal,
insurgent,
insurgent,
gallant,
gallant,
empirical,
empirical,
backlash,
backlash,
gape,
gape,
fray,
fray,
zoology,
zoology,
poised,
poised,
grandeur,
grandeur,
repeal, insurgent, gallant, empirical, backlash, gape, fray, zoology, poised, grandeur, neglectful,
neglectful,
oust,
oust,
heaney,
monot,
phonetic,
phonetic,
respondent,
respondent,
flimsy,
flimsy,
prodigy,
prodigy,
relent,
relent,
autocratic,
autocratic,
recitation,
recitation,
neglectful, oust, heaney, phonetic, respondent, flimsy, prodigy, relent, autocratic, recitation, sanction,
sanction,
imperative,
imperative,
flint,
flint,
in,
usher in,
ornate,
ornate,
al, gall,
gall,
ray,
rectify,
pedigree,
pedigree,
fetus,
fetus,
sanction, imperative, flint, in, ornate, al, gall, ray, pedigree, fetus, expectancy,
expectancy,
acronym,
acronym,
verify,
verify,
audacious,
audacious,
exacerbate,
exacerbate,
occupant,
occupant,
poise,
poise,
retrospect,
retrospect,
resonant,
resonant,
pretender,
pretender,
expectancy, acronym, verify, audacious, exacerbate, occupant, poise, retrospect, resonant, pretender, monastery,
monastery,
morale,
morale,
exodus,
exodus,
momentum,
momentum,
revert,
revert,
painstaking,
painstaking,
baffle,
baffle,
fodder,
fodder,
individualistic,
individualistic,
predicate,
predicate,
monastery, morale, exodus, momentum, revert, painstaking, baffle, fodder, individualistic, predicate,
consign,
conveyance,
conveyance,
dearth,
dearth,
militant,
militant,
grid,
grid,
repertoire,
repertoire,
preparatory,
preparatory,
reactionary,
reactionary,
insidious,
insidious,
outright,
outright,
conveyance, dearth, militant, grid, repertoire, preparatory, reactionary, insidious, outright, irresistible,
irresistible,
rendition,
rendition,
vegetation,
vegetation,
discrepancy,
discrepancy,
lax,
lax,
leisurely,
leisurely,
pesticide,
pesticide,
centralize,
centralize,
instantaneous,
instantaneous,
martial,
martial,
irresistible, rendition, vegetation, discrepancy, lax, leisurely, pesticide, centralize, instantaneous, martial, perspiration,
perspiration,
permeate,
permeate,
balk,
balk,
pneumonia,
pneumonia,
repute,
repute,
configuration,
configuration,
antidote,
antidote,
supposition,
supposition,
lewd,
lewd,
measer,
miser,
perspiration, permeate, balk, pneumonia, repute, configuration, antidote, supposition, lewd, measer, reservoir,
reservoir,
disproportionately,
disproportionately,
automate,
automate,
convertible,
convertible,
versatile,
versatile,
microbe,
microbe,
proxy,
proxy,
funnel,
funnel,
cynical,
cynical,
idiosyncratic,
idiosyncratic,
reservoir, disproportionately, automate, convertible, versatile, microbe, proxy, funnel, cynical, idiosyncratic, pedestal,
pedestal,
muddle,
muddle,
backdrop,
backdrop,
or, colossal,
colossal,
underwrite,
underwrite,
exempt,
exempt,
psychiatry,
psychiatry,
empress,
empress,
annuity,
annuity,
pedestal, muddle, backdrop, or, colossal, underwrite, exempt, psychiatry, empress, annuity, gauze,
grousing,
decipher,
decipher,
observatory,
observatory,
fracture,
fracture,
besiege,
besiege,
laden,
laden,
deter,
deter,
advocacy,
advocacy,
insight,
congenial,
fledgling,
fledgling,
gauze, decipher, observatory, fracture, besiege, laden, deter, advocacy, insight, fledgling, topple,
topple,
scourge,
scourge,
footage,
footage,
lingua franca,
lingua,
levy,
levy,
amenity,
amenity,
prowess,
prowess,
sibling,
sibling,
reciprocal,
reciprocal,
porcelain,
porcelain,
topple, scourge, footage, lingua franca, levy, amenity, prowess, sibling, reciprocal, porcelain, chiropractor,
chiropractor,
receivable,
receivable,
illicit,
illicit,
enlighten,
enlighten,
norm,
norm,
nitrogen,
nitrogen,
downside,
downside,
zinc,
zinc,
paralysis,
paralysis,
misconception,
misconception,
chiropractor, receivable, illicit, enlighten, norm, nitrogen, downside, zinc, paralysis, misconception, sustenance,
sustenance,
grimace,
grimace,
deteriorate,
deteriorate,
collateral,
collateral,
adoration,
adoration,
unprecedented,
unprecedented,
canteen, causal,
causal,
discrete,
discrete,
tremor,
tremor,
sustenance, grimace, deteriorate, collateral, adoration, unprecedented, canteen, causal, discrete, tremor, culprit,
culprit,
irrigate,
irrigate,
transient,
transient,
yoke,
yoke,
pitiless,
pitiless,
capture,
recapture,
afresh,
afresh,
culminate,
culminate,
resourceful,
resourceful,
void,
void,
culprit, irrigate, transient, yoke, pitiless, capture, afresh, culminate, resourceful, void, peas,
peas,
incomparable,
incomparable,
operative,
operative,
dilute,
dilute,
deplore,
deplore,
degrade,
degrade,
distill,
distill,
evaporate,
evaporate,
aversion,
aversion,
venerable,
venerable,
peas, incomparable, operative, dilute, deplore, degrade, distill, evaporate, aversion, venerable. Example: bonanza,
bonanza,
amass,
amass,
wary,
wary,
barge,
barge,
bolster,
bolster,
exhale,
exhale,
viable,
viable,
gastric,
gastric,
pageant.
pageant,
Example: bonanza, amass, wary, barge, bolster, exhale, viable, gastric, pageant, limestone,
limestone,
sledge,
sledge,
infest, ventilate,
ventilate,
invincible,
invincible,
astound,
astound,
futile,
futile,
slot,
onslaught,
contemptuous,
contemptuous,
suggestive,
suggestive,
limestone, sledge, infest, ventilate, invincible, astound, futile, slot, contemptuous, suggestive, laborious,
laborious,
endemic,
endemic,
momentous,
momentous,
gymnastic,
gymnastic,
superintendent,
superintendent,
monument, imprudent,
imprudent,
blow up,
blow up,
inept,
inept,
concord,
concord,
laborious, endemic, momentous, gymnastic, superintendent, monument, imprudent, blow up, inept, concord, gratification,
gratification,
lifelike,
lifelike,
nucleus,
nucleus,
canny,
uncanny,
sag,
sag,
reflect,
reflect,
resilient,
resilient,
ignite,
ignite,
hideous,
hideous,
deforestation,
deforestation,
gratification, lifelike, nucleus, canny, sag, reflect, resilient, ignite, hideous, deforestation, dubious,
dubious,
demise,
demise,
whim,
whim,
rigorous,
rigorous,
disparate,
disparate,
cumulative,
cumulative,
ingenuity,
ingenuity,
tome,
tome,
synthetic,
synthetic,
burgeon,
burgeon,
dubious, demise, whim, rigorous, disparate, cumulative, ingenuity, tome, synthetic, burgeon, squeak,
squeak,
coronation,
coronation,
precedent,
precedent,
degenerate,
degenerate,
sensory,
sensory,
affluent,
affluence,
envisage,
envisage,
stingy,
stingy,
eye, ailment,
ailment,
squeak, coronation, precedent, degenerate, sensory, affluent, envisage, stingy, eye, ailment, morbid,
morbid,
burrow,
burrow,
autonomous,
autonomous,
pervasive,
pervasive,
hype,
hype,
insulate,
insulate,
outset,
outset,
seduce,
seduce,
counteract,
counteract,
sensual,
sensual,
morbid, burrow, autonomous, pervasive, hype, insulate, outset, seduce, counteract, sensual, invoke,
invoke,
optical,
optical,
brigade,
brigade,
scrutinize,
scrutinize,
bombard,
bombard,
constituency,
constituency,
presumption,
presumption,
dwindle,
dwindle,
economize, indiary,
incendiary,
invoke, optical, brigade, scrutinize, bombard, constituency, presumption, dwindle, economize, indiary, analogous,
analogous,
conformity,
conformity,
revere,
revere,
chronic,
chronic,
indict,
indict,
evoke,
evoke,
pitfall,
pitfall,
fragrant,
fragrant,
smother,
smother,
collaborate,
collaborate,
analogous, conformity, revere, chronic, indict, evoke, pitfall, fragrant, smother, collaborate, womb,
womb,
erode,
erode,
matrix,
matrix,
accrue,
accrue,
heyday,
heyday,
conical,
conical,
wedge,
wedge,
robust,
robust,
asthma,
asthma,
apostle,
apostle,
womb, erode, matrix, accrue, heyday, conical, wedge, robust, asthma, apostle, equable,
equable,
predominantly,
predominantly,
semblance,
semblant,
ensue,
ensue,
improvise,
improvise,
drab,
drab,
wane,
wane,
fervor,
fervor,
intuitive,
intuitive,
convene,
convene,
equable, predominantly, semblance, ensue, improvise, drab, wane, fervor, intuitive, convene, plummet,
plummet,
perennial,
perennial,
obese,
obese,
stifle,
stuffle,
ravage,
ravage,
perimeter,
perimeter,
fraudulent,
fraudulent,
escient,
revulsion,
herring,
herring,
derivative,
derivative,
plummet, perennial, obese, stifle, ravage, perimeter, fraudulent, escient, herring, derivative, engrave,
engrave,
obstruction,
obstruction,
publish,
publicize,
denote,
denote,
terrain,
terrain,
credibility,
credibility,
boo,
boo,
quirk,
quirk,
fidelity,
fidelity,
sumptuous,
sumptuous,
engrave, obstruction, publish, denote, terrain, credibility, boo, quirk, fidelity, sumptuous, stark,
stark,
deposition,
deposition,
dub,
dub,
sporadic,
sporadic,
akin,
akin,
redemption,
redemption,
residue,
residue,
interrogate,
interrogate,
assimilate,
assimilate,
congestion,
congestion,
stark, deposition, dub, sporadic, akin, redemption, residue, interrogate, assimilate, congestion, inant,
inonder,
protocol,
protocol,
onset,
onset,
cohesion,
cohesion,
deride,
deride,
tuberculosis,
tuberculosis,
constituent,
constituent,
disquiet,
disquiet,
yours,
recourse,
exemplary,
exemplary,
inant, protocol, onset, cohesion, deride, tuberculosis, constituent, disquiet, yours, exemplary, bristle,
bristle,
loot,
loot,
debase,
debase,
avalanche,
avalanche,
delude,
delude,
parody,
parody,
aloof,
aloof,
poor,
poor,
picky,
picky,
reminiscence,
reminiscence,
bristle, loot, debase, avalanche, delude, parody, aloof, poor, picky, reminiscence, elapse,
elapse,
intrigue,
intrigue,
deplete,
deplete,
forego,
forgo,
replicate,
replicate,
bladder,
bladder,
authenticity,
authenticity,
pinnacle,
pinnacle,
proliferate,
proliferate,
opportune,
opportune,
elapse, intrigue, deplete, forego, replicate, bladder, ointment,
ointment,
contention,
contention,
algae,
algae,
phenomenal,
phenomenal,
expatriate,
expatriate,
obnoxious,
obnoxious,
antagonym,
antagonism,
clot,
clot,
granite,
granite,
grapple,
grapple,
ointment, contention, algae, phenomenal, expatriate, obnoxious, antagonym, clot, granite, grapple, pharmaceutical,
pharmaceutical,
exasperate, fickle,
fickle,
contingent,
contingent,
pur-
purport,
benevolence,
benevolence,
surveillance,
surveillance,
severity,
severity,
erroneous,
erroneous,
mangle,
mangle,
pharmaceutical, exasperate, fickle, contingent, benevolence, surveillance, severity, erroneous, mangle, adhesive,
adhesive,
volatile,
volatile,
sinister,
sinister,
shadow,
overshadow,
rupture,
rupture,
adherent,
adherent,
continuum,
continuum,
beneficiary,
beneficiary,
discord,
discord,
constable,
constable,
adhesive, volatile, sinister, shadow, rupture, adherent, continuum, beneficiary, discord, constable, frivolous,
frivolous,
ordeal,
ordeal,
sterling,
sterling,
ooze,
ooze,
skepticism,
skepticism,
vernacular,
vernacular,
kidney,
kidney,
devious,
devious,
mason,
mason,
feudalism,
feudalism,
frivolous, ordeal, sterling, ooze, skepticism, vernacular, kidney, devious, mason, feudalism, alienate,
alienate,
immune,
immune,
differential,
differential,
life expectancy,
life expectancy,
mundane,
mundane,
incarnation,
incarnation,
theology,
theology,
tangible,
tangible,
upbringing,
upbringing,
transcontinental,
transcontinental,
alienate, immune, differential, life expectancy, mundane, incarnation, theology, tangible, upbringing, transcontinental, team,
team,
cub,
cub,
spectrum,
spectrum,
deflect,
deflect,
radius,
radius,
incompatible,
incompatible,
pain,
pain,
unleash,
unleash,
denounce,
denounce,
reliant,
reliant,
team, cub, spectrum, deflect, radius, incompatible, pain, unleash, denounce, reliant, airborne,
airborne,
underway,
underway,
pendant,
pendant,
temporal,
temporal,
contingency,
contingency,
erratic,
erratic,
hull,
hull,
astronomical,
astronomical,
abstraction,
abstraction,
meager,
meager,
airborne, underway, pendant, temporal, contingency, erratic, hull, astronomical, abstraction, meager,
pristine,
larva,
larva,
intimidate,
intimidate,
disillusioned,
disillusioned,
terminus,
terminus,
hail,
hale,
repentant,
repentant,
droppings,
droppings,
two,
two,
rye,
rye,
larva, intimidate, disillusioned, terminus, hail, repentant, droppings, two, rye, legion,
legion,
tail,
curtail,
invariable,
invariable,
brittle,
brittle,
insecure,
insecure,
inhalation,
inhalation,
feudal,
feudal,
tint,
tint,
courtship,
courtship,
bask,
bask,
legion, tail, invariable, brittle, insecure, inhalation, feudal, tint, courtship, bask, facade,
facade,
midwife,
midwife,
ibet,
abet,
seer,
seer,
invert,
invert,
infuse,
infuse,
sift,
sift,
gland,
gland,
accountability,
accountability,
fingertip,
fingertip,
facade, midwife, ibet, sear, invert, infuse, sift, gland, accountability, fingertip, parched,
parched,
relentless,
relentless,
maxim,
maxim,
defiant,
defiant,
compulsion,
compulsion,
arduous,
arduous,
longevity,
longevity,
gregarious,
gregarious,
stagnant,
stagnant,
inconceivable,
inconceivable,
parched, relentless, maxim, defiant, compulsion, arduous, longevity, gregarious, stagnant, inconceivable, legislator,
legislator,
leukemia,
leukemia,
infrared,
infrared,
intermission,
intermission,
inexplicable,
inexplicable,
complacent,
complacent,
pseudo,
pseudo,
annex,
annex,
cardinal,
cardinal,
partisan,
partisan,
legislator, leukemia, infrared, intermission, inexplicable, complacent, pseudo, annex, cardinal, partisan, demographic,
demographic,
mistra,
mistra,
proportionate,
proportionate,
maternal,
maternal,
pretext,
pretext,
disperse,
disperse,
transcend,
transcend,
perverse,
perverse,
undermine,
undermine,
vogue,
vogue,
demographic, mistrust, proportionate, maternal, pretext, disperse, transcend, perverse, undermine, vogue, tenuous,
tenuous,
sperm,
sperm,
specification,
specification,
fungus,
fungus,
respiratory,
respiratory,
quadruple,
quadruple,
entail,
entail,
sewer,
sewer,
judiciary,
judiciary,
adjacent,
adjacent,
tenuous, sperm, specification, fungus, respiratory, quadruple, entail, sewer, judiciary, adjacent, glossary,
glossary,
advent,
advent,
succumb,
succumb,
entice,
entice,
indistinct,
indistinct,
caliber,
caliber,
havoc,
havoc,
refute,
refute,
extol,
extol,
outweigh,
outweigh,
glossary, advent, succumb, entice, indistinct, caliber, havoc, refute, extol, outweigh, plausible,
plausible,
cog,
cog,
cornerstone,
cornerstone,
devout,
devout,
persevere,
persevere,
consortium,
consortium,
disfigure,
disfigure,
remnant,
remnant,
observant,
observant,
constrain,
constrain,
plausible, cog, cornerstone, devout, persevere, consortium, disfigure, remnant, observant, constrain, contender,
contender,
playwright,
playwright,
psychiatric,
psychiatric,
flex,
flex,
prodigious,
prodigious,
roster,
roster,
rift,
rift,
sarcasm, barbed,
barbed,
disparate,
disparate,
contender, playwright, psychiatric, flex, prodigious, roster, rift, sarcasm, barbed, disparate, birthright,
birthright,
oblivion,
oblivion,
precarious,
precarious,
antibiotic,
antibiotic,
aggravate,
aggravate,
inaugurate,
inaugurate,
hoard,
hoard,
inappropriate,
inappropriate,
vibrant,
vibrant,
impetus,
impetus,
birthright, oblivion, precarious, antibiotic, aggravate, inaugurate, hoard, inappropriate, vibrant, impetus,